Good morning, everybody. Um, so today we're not going to so much look at a forecast or an analysis. We're more so just kind of going to do another free flowing update. Looking at just a couple of things that are on my mind that I think are important for this winter. So the first thing I'm going to look over that we haven't looked at yet is NOAA's seasonal outlook. Not their forecast, but well, this is a forecast actually. I'm sorry about that. So we're gonna go through November, December, and January 1st. Very warm, but watch what happens. They're catching on to what I've been catching on to. There's a distinct signal of cold. Watch this. So that was November, December, and January. Now we go from December, January, into February. Look at that, cold. I mean, that's some dark blue there. There's some deep shades of blue there. Intense cold. Now, of course, it is confined to the northern plains, but don't be deceived because that can easily create a whole cold for the USA at many times during this period. Just because it's centered here doesn't mean it's going to stay here. It's going to be all over. That's from experience, so trust me on that. Anyways, warm for Florida, warm for the Southwest. But hey, I wouldn't be surprised if we get some snows there down in the South because one model is forecasting an active subtropical jet. So in other words, the jet stream right in the Gulf of Mexico, which is their strongest jet in the USA, especially during wintertime, it's going to be active. And it's so strong because it's subtropical. You have more, and if you want to get technical about it, more atoms moving very quickly, more energy with it because it's tropical. It's not the colder, but you do need the colder polar fronts as well, especially during La Nina years, which this winter will be. Now the polar jet stream is more towards the northwest, like what states like Washington, and that's very important during a La Nina because that creates your biggest snows during your La Nina along the northern half of the USA, which is when essentially where you get your heaviest, biggest snowfalls during a La Nina. So that's that. Let's take a look at this. So again, it continues into March, even expands a little bit. So no, not a shabby guess, NOAA, for winter. I like your thought processes on that. I'm glad I stuck with my initial gut feeling of a cold winter and a snowy one, even though the Jamstack came out dangerously warm yesterday. And let's look at that because that's interesting. This scared me. I was disheartened at this completely. It was very scary to me. And let's take a look. Now this is our ensemble. In other words, all of the runs of this website. So it has very confused signal. Somehow that doesn't make sense to me or look right. It just looks too disorganized to be real in actuality, and I don't think this will come to fruition, what the forecast is saying. I believe we're going to have more of a thin La Nina this year, but a distinct one nonetheless. So regardless, let's take a look at our 2-meter air temperature anomalies. And it's just a blowtorch, and it doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense to me that you're going to have this warm air streaming down from Alaska to the east. It just doesn't look right. It looks wrong. Sorry. But anyways, and again, dry for like the Florida area and for the Northwest. So I guess if I want to go into detail of why that looks wrong, it's just, it doesn't look physically right. Like physically right. Because when you get a lot of blocking in the northwestern and Alaska Canadian region, you don't usually see it shoot down to the east like this. I mean, yeah, models are going to forecast what they want, but when you look at the physicality of it, it just doesn't physically make sense. This would usually promote cold, And I suspect this will have a Greenland black this year. Let's take a look at Weatherbell's models to see if the other models are forecasting a Greenland black this winter. And then we'll close, because this is just a winter hint. I'm not gonna talk all day about this. I love to, but can't. And you can't either, probably. So let's take a look at our European seasonal. And we're not gonna look at that. We're gonna look at the Canadian daily run from fresh off the press this morning at 12 a.m. October 19th. So we're going to take a look at our heights monthly 500 millibar. So October has a Greenland black, good. November, this is a decent pattern, not ideal, because this would cut off your flow of your polar and Pacific jet streams and also your Gulf Stream. It would kind of split in half your sector of energy for storms in the USA. December looks like this. It's not a very good look either. January is looking better. This is actually looking a little bit better. We're starting to see that block head up north. And again, we want that to be further north. So the question was, are the models predicting a Greenland block? Not as yet, but I have faith that as time goes on, they will start to edge that way. Just giving you my gut instincts and thoughts on this winter, guys. So hope you enjoy them. Hope you guys have a great Sunday today and enjoy your day today. Thanks for watching. Like, share, comment, subscribe, what have you, and enjoy your day. Bye.